Hey everyone, it's Kong again with another episode of Should You Summon? As always, this video is not meant to be an in-depth guide or build for these characters, but simply high-level overviews using 4 criteria to help you decide whether to spend your hard-earned vouchers or crystals. How they fit into your team, whether they unlock any bonds, what kind of content they get used for, and their future availability. So let's jump right into this Rate Up banner featuring new characters, Akaya and Brenda. This banner's running from April 9th to April 22nd, and just as a reminder, it's not a Destiny banner, so it is possible to summon off-banner heroes even on your first SSR. First up, we have Akaya. She's a Sheikah waifu with a balanced stat line and a balance of physical and magical attacks, as well as team support and utility. She's a member of Legion of Glory, buffed by Ledin, Elwyn, and Grenier, Origins of Light, buffed by Dehart, Jugler, and Freya, and Mythical Realm, buffed by Gizaroff. Her talent, summons a wolf spirit whenever someone on your team dies. You can only have one wolf on the field at any given time, and you can use this wolf as a summon or unit in its own right, but the real purpose is to be sacrificed. Her talent gives her a stat bump whenever the wolf dies, and she also has several skills that allow her to instantly sacrifice the wolf for various effects. Power of the Wild destroys the wolf and gives all allies a 2-turn buff that increases their attack and their int by 30% and increases their mobility by 2. Roar of Death destroys the wolf in an AoE explosion that causes physical and magical damage and debuffs. Finally, Beastly Outbreak destroys the wolf and lets you teleport another character to the wolf's position, and it lets them act again if they've already acted. For bonds, Akaya unlocks the attack bond for the upcoming character Renata. For herself, she only needs Sophia for her defense bond and Matthew for her attack bond, so very accessible. Now, as far as content, Akaya gets a bad rap in general, but I think she could be fun to use in PvE, where you can generally get into longer battles and don't suffer as much from losing units. This will let you make more use of her wolf skills. Her overall balance means that she's not a specialist at any specific thing, which usually works against characters, but it does give you some flexibility in what skills you'll choose to help your team. She's on faction for Scylla and Valkyrie in the Eternal Temple, and Jormungandr, Fenrir, and Hugin and Munin in Ancient Beckoning. She doesn't see a lot of play in PvP on the Chinese servers, who are a season ahead of global right now. I can definitely see a temptation to try to use her with a summoning partner to give her easier access to wolf spirits without really hurting your team. So Gizaroff with his constructs in Mythical Realm, maybe Matthew's 3C summon or Liana's Sky Archers in Legion of Glory. But this takes some luck in pick ban to get the right team set up, and it also takes some setup in combat to get all the pieces lined up to make it work. For availability, Akaya is predicted to return in early August on another Rate Up banner with Emilia, so no Destiny banners featuring Akaya in the near future. The second character, and probably the prestige character on this banner, is Brenda. She's a high DPS cavalry and lancer unit with a wide variety of attack and mobility skills. Her talent boosts her attack power against foes with lower HP percentage and also gives you a free additional turn after a certain number of combats. This means she's a prime candidate for boosting up to 6-star right away with Gate of Fates or Lucky Summons. She's a member of Yales Legends, buffed by Landius and Sigma, and Meteor Strike, buffed by Zerida. For bonds, she unlocks the defensive bond for the upcoming character Shilinka. She needs Virash to unlock her defensive bond and Rainforce to unlock her attack bond. Those are both SSR characters and not highly accessible, so she may be tough to fully power up unless you already have both of those characters. For content, in PvE, she's on faction for Scylla and Phoenix in the Eternal Temple, and with her mobility skills I could actually see her being fairly useful for both of those depending on your team. She's also on faction for Nidhogg and Jormungandr in Ancient Beckoning. Where she truly shines is in PvP, where she plays a similar role as a tank-busting Lancer Elwyn. She has access to Frontal Assault, as well as a jacked-up assault skill that inflicts heal reversal and pushes the target back 2 blocks. In a big advantage over short-legged Elwyn, she has Strike, Move Again, and her talent to give her lots of options for approaching and retreating. On the downside, her primary PvP faction buffers are Landius and Zerida, who are very common first bans. If you do manage to deploy her with a buffer, then she'll easily take out Cavalry Landius, and she could also be useful for just doing high DPS against other non-tank characters. For availability, Brenda is predicted to return again in mid-August on a Destiny banner alongside Listel and Lambda. Listel was very recently available on a banner, and Lambda is coming up soon, so if you have both of those characters, then you may be guaranteed a Brenda in mid-August if you don't have good luck on this banner. So to wrap up, we have Akaya, who has a variety of fun skills that could be useful in PvE. She also unlocks the attack bond for Renata. And we have Brenda, who's a promising PvP tank buster who unlocks the defensive bond for Shalinka. So what do I mean by for now? Well, in the latest update preview, Zilong Games kind of surprised everyone by revealing that Akaya would be renamed Aka in the global servers. This is not even getting into the whole Oliver Olivier thing. Anyway, after some minor hoopla from the community, a Zilong Games community rep basically went back to the company and let them know that the name change wasn't exactly going over super well. So they then were able to confirm to the strategy squad that the company has agreed to go back and change the name of Aka back to Akaya and Olivier back to Oliver. Now that change won't be happening until a future update because it's basically too late to get it into today's update. So they basically have to go back and re-update the text that's in the game. So that will be coming with a future update, we're not sure when. So the long story short is basically that Aka's name will be Akaya again eventually. Now, just a quick reminder about upcoming banners. The Lambda Gizaroff Sigma Destiny banner should be coming up next week, so if you're interested in those characters, or if you want to unlock Omega's bonds, you might consider holding off on these for a week. When this Akaya and Brenda banner goes away, if we follow the Chinese server's schedule, it should be replaced by the second part of the Trails in the Sky rerun, featuring Leonhardt and Ren. Anyway, as always, I hope this video was helpful. Let me know in the comments if you're planning to summon for either of these characters, and if you get them, let me know. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Should You Summon?